I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Yo, what's good, everybody? You are now listening to another episode of the Man Listen Show. But before we get started, let's hear a few words from our sponsors.
DD's Daiquiris is your #1 supplier of premium daiquiri mixes. You will love the taste of our classic margarita and signature strawberry mixes. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at DD's Daiquiris. DD is spelled D-E-E-D-E-E. You can also find us at www.dd'sdaiquiris.com. DD's Daiquiris, giving good vibes to good people, one good drink at a time.
Please buy the new book by Arika Nicole Moore, Diabolical Tales of Woe. Diabolical Tales of Woe is a thrilling collection of short horror stories that leave you in an excited trepidation to see what will happen next. Prepare to face one horrific encounter after the next in this captivating novel. You can find this book on Amazon in the Kindle and paperback version. That is Diabolical Tales of Woe by Arika Nicole Moore. Are you in the state of Texas and looking for a knowledgeable loan advisor that will walk you through the process from application to closing? Well, then you need to contact Joe Byers at Trinity Oaks Mortgage. Trinity Oaks Mortgage offers FHA, VA, and conventional loans. They also have a first-time homebuyers program available. There is also down payment assistance available as well. Make sure you contact Joe Byers at Trinity Oaks Mortgage. You can reach Joe at 972-512-8990. Are you looking for a virtual assistant who can help you with your scheduling, travel, research, and expenses? Demi Virtual Solutions is the answer for you. Demi Virtual Solutions also provides mobile notary services. They will travel to take care of your needs. So if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and need a virtual assistant or are looking for mobile notary services, contact them at 469-522-9005, and you can find them on their website at demivirtualsolutions.com. That's DEMI virtualsolutions.com.
More Grace Counseling and Mediation Services offers individual and relationship counseling as well as mediation services to the community. At More Grace, healthy partnerships are valuable and beneficial. Please visit the website www.moregracecounseling.com for more information about our approach to counseling. More Grace Counseling and Mediation Services, where we offer more grace and more healing.
Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that affect the Black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hate frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% Black all the time. Please follow us on social media at Man Listen Show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also follow us on Spotify, iTunes, follow us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment, and make sure you tell everybody about the blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. I'm your host, Mark B. All right, we down one soldier today. Brother Lab had obligations, so just me and the ladies. So how apropos, we're talking about young sister out of Dallas, Texas, Sha'Carri Richardson. Did y'all see her as she qualified for the Olympics? That girl was moving. She ran like 10.85 in the 100-meter dash. She runs a 200-meter as well. She's just amazing. You know, the type of speed that she shows on the track. Her, I guess, for lack of a better term, how flamboyant she is with her dress. She really gives you she really puts you in the mind of FloJo with her nails and with her hair and with her amazing speed. But there were some haters. A lot of dusty dudes is on social media, and we hate to give them shine, but I think we need to talk about this phenomenon of black men, some black men and how they handle some of our sisters. There were some that were talking about her appearance, talking about, you know, her features as an athlete, talking about her hair and her nails. And it was a tad bit disheartening, but the thing that I like to see was that social media, Black social media, really let those guys have it for the most part. So I'm gonna ask you all, as Black women, when you saw that, what was your thoughts?
For me, like you said, it was really disheartening because not only is she a young Black woman, but she's young. She's like somebody's baby. She's like 21. And I'll never understand attacking children or each other, period, on social media. I think, man, if Twitter fingers, that is the most accurate phrase ever in life for this generation. They are so hardcore behind their computer and phone screens. But I doubt any one of them would say anything, you know, anywhere near like that to her face. And then I don't think people understand like how you have to, as an athlete, build your body up to be able to accomplish these fantastic feats. Like they want you to look like these European people and then still be able to accomplish amazing physical tasks. Like, I think it's terrible, especially because, you know, my daughter's a gymnast. So seeing how gymnast bodies progress and how they get there and like how strong my daughter is already, I know I'm already on guard because if somebody start talking crazy about her, it's gonna be some problems.
You know, as a father, and I got children her age, it was disheartening. And one thing you can do is you really can't talk about a young woman's body, the damage that you could do to a young, and she's an adult, but she's still a young woman. When you're talking about teenage, high school athletes, college athletes, I think women in general, if you make a comment about their body, the psychological and the emotional damage that you could do, it's really, really damaging, for lack of a better word. We had a WNBA coach, I think it was a WNBA, he was talking about one of the players. There was a player, she's extra tall, she's a big woman. She might be like 6'7" or something like that, dominates in the post. And I apologize for not knowing her name. But one of the coaches made a comment about her body, and the league got on it real quick. She called him out, called him like a little white boy and some stuff, and he had to apologize because they know you can't do that to women. And it's very sad to see people do that. But I really think it was just more so trolls and clowns. I mean, we got a lot of people that, just for lack of a better term, they in the gutter. And anything that they could do to try to bring other people to the gutter with them, that's what they'll do. So I hate to do a show about this, but I think it's something that we need to talk about because we talk about protecting Black women and how do we do this and keep these guys, not give them the spotlight, but how do we put it into it? Is there any way that we can squash it? But see, go ahead, what did you think about it when you heard what happened? Or you saw what happened on social media?
It was disappointing. I really just saw, I guess it was from two brothers, but I just don't understand, like, what's the point? Like the one guy, you know, he was basically attacking her looks. And then, you know, she's 21 and she's a pretty girl. I mean, for what? He was criticizing her hair and then criticizing her nails, which she's already said and a long time ago said that, you know, Florence Griffin Joyner is, you know, somebody who she looks up to. And, you know, she had the long, colorful nails, you know, decades ago. So we already know like where she was going with it. But even now, like, you know, when FloJo did it, it was kind of different. Now it's nothing to see long nails with every single one of them a different color and things like that. So I really just don't know, like, brothers like that. It makes me feel like there's some sort of insecurities because what benefit do you get out of attacking a 21-year-old girl? And you're right, she's an adult, but, you know, we all got kids, you know, that age. So we still say kids, but, you know, just a young lady, like, what was the point of attacking her? And then one of the guys, I mean, he really didn't think it through. Like, he tried to attack her from some religious standpoint, but on the same side, he attacked her looks, which, you know, looks are just a matter of opinion. And he really got his mom and his wife, like, drug all over Facebook and Twitter all last night. And I'm just like,
your profile, if you're going to start making attacks on people's looks, they'll find bad pictures. And then, you know, I don't know about going out to the family because, you know, they didn't.
He brought it on himself. Like, you know, if I was his family members, I'd be more mad at him. Like, he could have kept quiet. Like, there was nothing good that was going to come out of that post at all. Even if his family didn't get drugged, there was just nothing he basically made that post to attack her, and whether that was her friends or family that started it, found him first, it was just random people on social media that just had her back. But yes, they found every picture of his wife and his mother.
Yeah, about his mom. I didn't see the wife, but yeah.
Yeah, the mom where they said, how dare you talk about her hair and your mom's wigs look like this, and they posted like her in 3 different wigs and
bad.
And then the wife, they didn't find very flattering pictures of the wife, but at least the ones I saw. And I mean, it's just like, if I was them, I would be so mad at him. But again, like, you got to be careful. You got to be careful.
I think that particular dude, he gave me that Hebrew Israelite vibe.
He was.
Like, the dudes them dudes that stand on the corner and just basically heckle everybody. And to an extent, they're funny to me because I'm just like, because y'all know I'm militant Marv. So some of the stuff they say, I could get down with. Yeah. But it really seems as if they just try to be caustic and we're just going to go after everybody. Because, like, my wife and I, we were coming from State Fair in Texas. It's a big thing here in Dallas, Texas, State Fair. And they was on the corner, and it was all fun and games when they was giving it to the white folks. But then my wife had on some jeans, and it had, how they got cuts in the jeans, so it was showing the thigh meat. But she walking with me, And this brother sitting here, he's mean mugging, and then he gonna come out the blue and tell her, "Hey sister, you need to save those sexy pants for your husband." And I was like, I said, nah, she good, man. She with me. You don't need to worry about that. And we kind of laughed at him. And then I turned around and looked at him again, and he's standing there. You know how they wear all the He-Man bracelets and the tunic and all that. So he's sitting there all puffed up, you know what I'm saying? Like, he told us, like, I need to check my wife about how she dressed. So it really kind of seems like that element of the Black community were the ones who were speaking out, but like, ain't nobody listening to them. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, they, so, I don't really, for a while, I actually studied and followed them a lot for many years. Not so much anymore, but a lot of, they have a lot of good things to say, but I feel like they're trying to, I don't know if they're trying to mimic the military and, the Black Panther Party along with the Nation of Islam, but they do. They're really aggressive, and like whoever they're trying to deliver the message to, they totally miss it because they just come off wrong. And that's exactly what, they were doing in the post, I guess, against Sha'Carri the last couple of days.
But yeah, I think that a lot of times that some of the people who I've argued with the most are the aggressive, if you don't see things my way, then you're doing it wrong and I'm going to attack you, Black people, whether it be the Hebrew Israelites or just the really like leftist, the opposite of everybody who's Republican or thinks anything Republican is completely wrong. And I'm just like, if you can't find a middle ground on anything, then you're part of the problem too. We don't need anybody all the way over here or all the way over there. And we don't need people policing us. Like, see, you're nice, because if somebody had said something about the way I was dressed when I was walking, my husband probably wouldn't even have got a chance to speak on my behalf. But I'd be like, hey, bro, who you think he's talking to? Like, that might have been a whole situation. He could have been as puffed up as he wanted to be. He'd have been puffed up on the ground.
Yeah, but the thing about it was, when you got people like that, they want the confrontation.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
They wanted to escalate. You know what I mean?
You'd have been on the whole YouTube video.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. Then the next thing you know, it'd be Hebrew Israelites get into it with big guy. You know what I mean? And his wife. And it really don't matter. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And she walked out of the house with me. And she had that on, and if I didn't have a problem with it, why you got a problem with it?
Right.
Me and my wife, we got a pretty good understanding. Before we walk out of the house, be like, yeah, you might need to try that again. You might need that ain't fitting right or whatever. It goes both ways. So but those cats, like I said, they're more funny to me. But I think this was just more damaging because it was so toxic. Because when you're talking about the Olympics. Going back to Jesse Owens, it's the competition and being able to perform for your country. There's a lot of racial pride that goes with that. When you start watching the Olympics, I don't care if I'm watching ping pong. If it's a Black athlete, especially from the U.S., I'm rooting for him, you know, because I want that brother or that sister to win. So that's why I think everybody was like, oh man, look at this sister dominating. Because like real talk, she ran, I think like her fastest time was like a 10.75. I'm old enough to remember when dudes were running that fast and consider like, oh man, that dude can move. I remember like the cats that could really move. See, you remember like we grew up in Kansas, like with Maurice Green and Carter's and Marcel Carter. Like them cats were running like 10.2, 10.3, 10.1. And those were like state champions. Those were like upper echelon guys. This is a woman doing this. So like she really is amazing.
And she didn't even have a great start. When I saw, I mean, just, you know, I'm definitely not a track person, but, you know, it didn't even look like she took off very good. Like, I think she still has.
Yeah, she did. She did.
Yeah. I think, too, that what you said about how it impacts the Black woman's psyche, it's not just some Black women, but specifically those young athletes who look up to her and they see that type of criticism. They take that personally, too, because they feel like that's kind of attacking that because they probably have the similar body types and everything, and they might be taking that a lot more personally. And at 21, she might be able to handle it a lot better than a 13 or 14-year-old girl who's developing the same way with the same goals and dreams. So that's really, really dangerous to think about it like that, especially with these kids being prone to self-harm these days.
And you know, the story behind, I don't know her complete story, but a week before this happened, her biological mother passed away. I believe I read, and you know, you read different stories. I think she was raised by her grandmother. So her grandmother was there at the competition. She raised her. But to be able to perform after something like that happening to you a week before, you know, no matter what her relationship with her biological mother, you know, I've lost a parent. All of us have lost a parent. You know, I've lost both my parents. And you know how hard that is to bounce back from. And for her to be able to compete on that high level while dealing with that emotional turmoil, and then somebody throws this at her too, nah, we can't do that. We can't allow that to happen, you know. But I'm glad that she has a support system. I read that she shouted out her girlfriend. So apparently, you know, it's Pride Month. So apparently she gets down like that. So she's safe from a lot of these cats, you know, these cats that's out here with the crazy, like the Nick Cannons who out here trying to, what's up with your boy Nick, man? I've been.
Oh my God.
He's out here spreading he took the spread, be fruitful and multiply the wrong way, didn't he?
This dude ain't bought a condom ever.
How many kids he got? Like, I know he got 7. Like,
this is 6, yeah. And the girl, I guess, is pregnant, will be number 7. Mm-hmm. I guess I just don't understand. Like, a lot of us make like the wrong decisions, or maybe don't think things through, like early in life. For him just to be so reckless with his seed now, like, you know, wait till he's 34 to have his first kid. And now he's not even 40, or he might have just turned 40 and he's already on number 7. Like, I just don't understand. Like, what happened? It's almost like something just, I don't know.
Ain't right with him. Ever since he started wearing them turbans, I saw a meme that said, we know that every time one of these chicks get pregnant, he gonna show up in the turban for the maternity shoot.
Yeah, I don't, and that's another thing. Like, he's like taking pictures with them, and don't get me wrong, he's definitely financially able to support all those kids. But is he, you know, at 40, are you gonna be there, you know, in the house with them to kind of like teach them the things that, you know, you would want to, and just, I don't know, like homework, just like little stuff, teach the boys life lessons. Like I said, I know, like, you know, when we're younger, we don't always make the best decisions, but I just, with him being so smart, like business wise, and I think he got his bachelor's degree in like less than 2 years. Of course, he had plenty of time on his hands. But, you know, I just don't understand like how he can accomplish all that. And then all of a sudden just start, I don't know. I don't get it.
You know, a couple things. I hope that he has enough money to take care of them, because I think I heard that Wild 'N Out is coming back on.
It already did.
It came back on, right? And it's wildly successful. I know he's making a ton of money on that, but you can see that that's not your show. That might be your show, but it's not your platform. It's not your network, and they can take it away at a snap of their fingers, right? And we see it with athletes. You know, they run out and they're somewhat reckless at a young age because they get a lot of money at a young age. and they have multiple children with multiple baby mothers. And when that child support order comes in, it comes in on what you're making right now. And are you able to sustain that for the next 18 years, 20, whatever years, if they go to college? Are you able to sustain that? Because you only got a finite period to perform. And if you're not smart with your money, you're going to be in trouble, because they're not going to change that order. You know, it's not for you. The game is not rigged for you as a black man. It's not. So for Nick, you're right. See, I think it's somewhat more tolerable because he can financially provide for the children. But, you know, I'm wearing my shirt, Active Black Dad. In my book, I talk about it. Value your seed. You can't be out here just spreading your seed recklessly, because, like you said, see, are you really going to be able to be the parent that your child deserves if you're not with them, you know, as much as you can? Yes, there's people who co-parent, they don't live in the same house. But if you're having to split time with 6 or 7 houses, how do you do that? There's only one you. There's only one you. And what example are you setting for your children? What example is Nick setting for other young black men? Because they look at him, I mean, we got to call it out. You know, they may look at Nick, well, Nick got, you know, all these kids or whatever. Yeah, man, but you're not Nick, though. You're not Nick. And the circumstances are much more dire for us as a community, where we don't have young children, young women, young men who have a father in their life. So, you know, it's kind of disappointing to see Nick carrying it like this, but, you know, what are we going to tell him? You know, he made more money than me, but I just wish he would set a better example through his actions.
I was going to say that you can modify child support agreements, but I would think that in his situation, because of the flexibility of his ability to earn, I would be hesitant to modify it too quickly, knowing that he might not be having the wilding out money this month, but that contract could get renewed next month, and then he does have that money coming in. So even though you can modify child support agreements like every 3 years in Missouri, I don't know about other states, but it's going to be more difficult for somebody with the earning potential that he has, because the court's going to assume that he's going to be able to find another lucrative activity. But it still goes back to not necessarily just being able to financially support the kids and maintain that financial support throughout their, 18 years of childhood, but also being able to, like you said, be involved. Because that's one of the things that I think resonated to me most in your book, is that even successful co-parenting isn't as beneficial to the child as having a parent or 2 parents in the home. And I think about that a lot, because I think about the balance between me and my husband, and how if I'm having a bad day, I can retreat to the room and let him handle the kids or something like that. So they're not always getting the best or worst of one person. They can get the balance, and then that makes their home life a little more, stable, and they have a better upbringing when you have something like that. But I don't know that he's thought about that, and I don't know that I don't know his situation either, but it seems crazy to me that he would wait till 40 to just start letting loose in every chick he meets. And this like, and then somebody told me, nah, the dark-skinned sisters is okay. It's just the light-skinned sisters he meets. I was like, okay, that's true.
But, I want to, in the book we're talking about some Mythbusters, Lessons from Active Black Fathers. You can find it on www.activeblackdad.com. But I want to emphasize, yes, a 2-parent household that is healthy is ideal. If you have a 2-parent household that's toxic, it can be just as damaging. So I want to put that out there, because I know people are going to say that, but, ideally, we as Black men, Black women will wait to make sure that there's somebody who we're more likely to be compatible with to have our children. Is that always possible? No. But my question is this, and I'm not trying to, I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, but I'm asking you all this because y'all are 2 sisters. Take Nick and his success and his money out of it, because we know there's a lot of other Nick Cannons who are, they have multiple kids, but they don't have the money and the resources. What goes through a sister's mind when you see a guy has multiple children with multiple women, and somehow you become the 4th or the 5th or the 6th? I got to think you can control the situation somewhat, but what do you think goes through that woman's mind to be like, is it, I think I can change him? Is it, I'm different than them, they're crazy, I'm not, or whatever? What do you think it is?
I almost don't even want to answer and incriminate myself because that's why I can't see my nephew now. But
You want that on the show or not? Let me know.
yeah, I would have said it. I thought it through. But yeah, but my brother has 7 children, and it has been a struggle for him. That all happened when he was young, but I mean, all of the children are a blessing, of course, but it has been a struggle for all of us with the situation, especially because you have to factor in the different personalities of the mothers. And I've often wondered how you get to be number 4 or 5 in that equation. But I think that it has to do with when people are courting, they're sharing a very small portion of themselves, and you let yourself fall in love with what you're being shown, as opposed to taking stock of the complete situation. Like the one who doesn't like me in particular, I was like, I mean, this is the picture as I see it. How did you see it? What world did you think you were stepping into? And she thought she was going to be treated like a princess. And I'm like, what part of this reality that we're living in every day did you pull that from? Like, I just have no idea. But because when they met, they bonded, they had a vibe. It's a good time. You know, people, you know, hang out. You don't bring your kids when you come hang out. You don't bring your problems. You go hang out and have a good time. And they're like, you know what? I'm in love. And next thing you know, Nick Cannon don't pull out and y'all together forever. So I think that people just, like I said, fall in love with the part that they want to fall in love with and turn a blind eye to the full reality or the full picture. And then they want to play victim or feel like a victim later on when reality is reality.
And I think to kind of piggyback off of that a little bit too, and Nick Cannon's situation especially, and this is really common too, all those kids are so close together. So some of them may have very well not even known about the one in front of them. Like by the time everybody announces they're pregnant by Nick, they're big and showing. So if that's 4 babies, or I think 3 births, I think 2 are twins, 3 births in 12 months, if you're, you know, technically pregnant from 36 to 40 weeks, like, you know, by the time the next one's pregnant, she doesn't even really know how he's then left this one and in her bed. And so I think that plays a part too. Most of the time those guys have kids, you know, back to back. And then I think sometimes, like Erika said, you know, you fall in love with just the part that you're shown, you know, early in the game, and you just don't take the time to think.
You know, in the hood, what we call that is project twins. Where you got 2 babies that's born in one summer or right by each other. They call that project twins. And we gotta stop glorifying that, because that's extra trifling, in my personal opinion. You know, we had a show, we talked about the bonnets. I talked about how I thought it was trifling. I'm being fair. That's trifling, bro. It just really is. You know, I mean, things happen. I'm not trying to sit on my throne and act like I'm high and mighty. But, you know, if it happened once, like, I was messing with her and I messed with her and I just lightning struck twice and I slipped up and I got 2 babies in one summer, or 2 babies that are born one right after another. Okay. But Nick been doing this more than once. You know what I mean? He been doing it more than once. And at 40, if you don't want to strap out, first off, dude, it's dangerous out here, man. You can't just be raw dogging like that. You can't just be raw dogging like that. And you are somewhat of a target, Nick. You know what I mean? Like, are you thinking about that? Like, you know, there are some women out here like, well, shoot, we can go ahead and pop one out for this dude. You know what I'm saying? I got a check coming in. I'm good. So I don't know, man. I don't know if Nick, I don't know his family situation, if his dad's in his life, or if he got older brothers, or if he got friends who keep it real with him, you know, because sometimes you just need a friend to be like, hey, man, what are you doing? You know, because this right here, it ain't going to work, you know, because, you know, it's tough, man. I mean, I hope Nick know what he's doing, but it's problematic in a lot of ways for our community.
Yeah, and not to say that, you know, definitely like trying to judge him, but he has that whole, because you know he wears several hats. He has his hand in everything, so he is hosted several other shows other than Wild 'N Out, but he has his own show.
He got more than his hand in everything.
Boy, I wouldn't trust that dude to pull out a pizza.
Man, it made me forget what I was going to say. I can't forget it. Oh, I know what I was talking about. Oh, he has that YouTube show where he does a lot of interviews called Canon Class, you know, and there's like a lot of, you know, lessons in there, but I feel like he's kind of, I don't know, not so much killing his credibility, but like he's like kind of diminishing his character and what he's trying to do. Like I think he's going to have less people tuning in and really like hearing his message because they're thinking, you know, he's just so reckless now.
Undermining his own legacy.
Yeah,
but I hope that doesn't happen, you know, because that's kind of what he got in trouble for, was that show when he was talking about white supremacy, you know, and everything else. I think he was talking about the Jews or whatever, and his opinion on that. And I hope that doesn't happen because all of our heroes, I think nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? We like to think that we do the best, you know, the best that we can in life. But, you know, we all have some issues that we want to try to hide. But as a celebrity, you just can't hide it. And like I said, man, I just hope Nick does better, though. I hope he does. So anyway, I think we talked about it enough. You know, shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson. Please go and run and bring that gold back to the U.S. You know, shine for us. There's a lot of sisters. There's a lot of young sisters competing. They're in the swimming pool, gymnastics with Simone Biles. I mean, I wish I knew everybody's name, but, you know, let's go and compete. Let's bring it back home for the U.S. because, you know, we still represent the U.S., you know, ADOS. So, you know, go represent. And, you know, we rooting for you all summer. You know, the Olympics is kind of like one of my favorite things. I don't know about y'all. I love it.
Mine too.
I love it.
I like it.
Huh?
Yeah, mine too.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm excited I'm taking Alana to see Simone Biles at the Olympic trials this weekend. So we're excited.
Nice.
Where's it at?
St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
At the Dome. She posted a picture today in front of the arch. I was like, she's here, Alana. I'm excited for her. I'm like, look, it's her.
I ain't even hating on her. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some move that she can do that nobody else can do just because she's that talented. And they were just like, well, if the other girls do it, they'll get hurt trying to do it. So we're going to penalize
Let you do that.
Basically by not making you do it. Like, come on, y'all. Like,
they don't want these Becky's out here getting hurt trying to be Black Magic.
I mean, it's nothing new. Once we start winning, they start changing the rules.
That's it. That's it. You know, so I'll be watching the Olympics, you know, set my alarm for 3 a.m. so I can see Brazil versus Dominican Republic volleyball, you know.
I was so confused on where that was going.
I knew right where he was going. That's why I started laughing before he finished it. He didn't even get the sentence out, and I busted him laughing.
Yo, brothers know what I'm talking about, man.
Oh, there's VHS tapes of the. Remember the Olympics from
Now we got the DVR, so we good. Nah, I'm just playing.
Yeah. You let mug get full and your family start taping over stuff. How many times can you watch this, Dad?
Man, I argue with my husband like once a week. Like he thinks the DVR is a VCR tape. I'm like, quit holding on to stuff. Like, I mean, I don't need to see Kobe's speech that many times. Like,
listen,
it's not a VCR tape.
The Chiefs wins
the Super Bowl
on my DVR.
It's still on the DVR. It's still on the DVR.
I'll come home from court. I'll be like, it ain't football season. What is this? Is this a replay?
Hey, this year that loss got deleted quick. It wasn't even on there 3 weeks. From over a year ago, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the good thing is, you know, we don't have cable anymore. We cut the cord. So unless it's on YouTube or on a Magic Streams, holler at me if you want the Magic Streams. I got that too. You know, we don't have the DVR anymore, but you know, we do got alarms and we can set that clock. Anyway, let me go and get out of here if I get in trouble. Make sure y'all follow us on social media at Men Listen Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. Give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about this show, and we'll holler at you next time. Peace.
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 Lab, what up?